Hi, I just wanted to make a quick review of the Kinn office chair by Autonomous. I've only been sitting in it for 2 weeks approximately, so I can't really speak in terms of longevity of the chair, but in terms of comfort and features, I'm going to attempt to go over that as best as I can. Full disclosure, I haven't been paid by Autonomous or anything. This is a chair I bought with my own money, and I use it for work. So I sit in the chair about 8 to 10 hours a day. So hopefully I can talk you into or out of buying this chair. All right, I'll get started. I'm just gonna adjust my camera so you can see the bottom portion of the chair as well as I talk through it. All right, so first thing about this chair. So the big selling point with this chair is the back support. So as you can see, there is a gray kind of rubbery material that supports your back. What's nice about this is the whole back actually flexes, you can see there, as you move around in the chair as well. So in terms of lumbar support and back support, the chair is pretty good. Now it doesn't have an adjustable lumbar. You can see the way that this chair supports your lumbar is basically just the rubber all kind of condensing to that one point, which for me is pretty good. Now one thing I found is the lumbar support is a little low. I'm only 5'9", and being that height even, I find that the lumbar could be a little bit higher for me. So for taller people, this might be something to consider and to maybe avoid, just because the lumbar is so low. Also, there's no adjustment, so the way I've kind of been fiddling around with it is with the seat pan adjustment. So your seat pan obviously can move forward and backwards, and having the seat pan all the way back kind of puts your back a little bit more firmly against the lumbar. So I find that makes it a little bit more aggressive, but the lumbar still isn't as aggressive as I would like. Now, in terms of other things that I like about the chair, again, the seat back is pretty great. Now, the seat pan itself is probably my favorite. So I'm going to lift this up and hopefully you can see in the camera. But the seat bottom here is full of a bunch of little plastic round springs, little cone springs. So it's a lot like the Herman Miller Embody. I think a lot of this chair's design was inspired by that chair. But it allows for the chair to be firm, but yet still comfortable. It's not going to be like cushiony or anything, but it does support you. It's actually my favorite part of the chair. There is a rim, you can kind of see there. There's a rim to the chair, also here up at the top, a little bit there, you can see there. This rim is similar to the Aeron, but the nice thing about this is because of the seat pan adjustment, if you're finding that the rim is pinching your legs, you can always move it back. Also the rim here at the top, it doesn't really bother me, but this might be something that bothers other people if it hits their shoulders or their head in a certain way. Now these two spots here I think are probably going to be the first spots to wear out in the chair, just because there's constantly, especially here below, your legs kind of rubbing against it, as well as your shoulders up here above. Other things that I like about this chair is, I'm going to lift this up so you can see the controls a little better. So the back tensioner here, so if you turn this clockwise, the back becomes harder to move. And if you turn it clockwise, obviously it does become easier to move. Now with the back, as I just moved it, you can see that the seat itself moves with the back, albeit not that much, but I would say this makes it a lot more comfortable when you're kind of lounging back in your chair. It's comfortable for me. I really like it. I've sat in chairs where the seat pan doesn't move with the back. It's not the greatest. But I've also sat in chairs like the Aeron where you can't really compare how the two lean back. The Aeron, the way it leans back, is much better than this, but this still does the job pretty well. Now on this side you have the locking mechanism that locks the back here. And then also again here you have a little lever for your seat pan adjust. And then also here, beside the other control, is what moves your chair up and down. Now I have it raised up a little bit and it kind of gets to my points of my areas where I would say don't like the chair as much. Now those would be first. This little lever here, this is probably the thing I don't like the most. It's pretty flimsy, plasticky. I don't know what kind of plastic they're using, so I don't know how long that's going to last. I also find that I'm kind of constantly fidgeting with this piece because I want my back to be just the right amount of, I don't want to be too easy to lean back, also not too hard. So I'm constantly fidgeting with this, which might lead it to break a little sooner. So that's probably my biggest negative. You can see here also, and this kind of gets to my second point, is the arms are probably the cheapest part of this chair. This is all kind of plasticky. You can see here that I kind of hit it on my desk and it's already kind of banged up a little bit. But I mean, the arms are not the biggest part of the chair. In terms of comfort, they're fine. These are plasticky as well, as much of the rest of it is. But they do move in and out, which is fine, but they're, I guess, not as soft or not as nice as what you would get on other similar chairs. But for me, I would rather compromise on these and have a good supportive chair, and I think that's what they've done. So kind of to sum it all up, I really like this chair. I've only had it for 2 weeks, but I find that it's very supportive. Where it lacks in, your adjustment levers and kind of the plasticky bits, it more than makes up in its support. And I think for the price that you pay, it's a really good chair overall. Now, Autonomous has a promotion too, I think, where, I don't know if it's a promotion or just what they do, but you can use the chair for 30 days, and if you don't like it, you can ship it back. Now, I don't know how hard or how easy it is to do that, but I would say, give it a shot. If you don't like it, you never really know how a chair is until you sit in it. So if you don't like it, you can give it back and you can maybe try something that's a little bit pricier, like the Steel Case series or the Herman Miller series. But to save a couple dollars, I would definitely take a look at this chair. It's actually a great chair for what you pay. All right, that's about all I have to say. Thanks for listening to me, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to try to answer them all in the comment section. Thank you.